Okay, chlorokinesis, sometimes called plant control or plant speak, is the ability to tap into the power of plant life directly. And the entities that we see with this ability can commune with plant life in a variety of ways, sometimes controlling their growth or even their form. And in advanced cases, we've seen them use plant life to actually ensnare opponents or produce poisonous, thorny bushes. It's also been called Agrokinesis, Botanokinesis, or Phytokinesis, but all related to this mentally ability to summon, control, and manipulate plants and vegetation. And this ability seems to extend in many forms, including wood, rock soil, roots, fruits, flowers, and sometimes even moss that grows naturally in a habitat. In nature, we've seen this power attributed to many deities. A vegetation deity is often a fertility deity as well, and the deity typically goes through some type of disfigurement or a scattering that forces some type of reintegration. And these stories are typically told in myths, so we see these themes represent themselves in a variety of ways. In Mesopotamian myth, it's the journey of Inanna into the underworld, who seeks to supplant her sister Ereshkigal. Now, Inanna is killed, but she is resurrected, so resurrection takes its place. She comes back to the surface, but her husband, the vegetation god, Dumuzi, has to spend half the year in the underworld, thus affecting directly vegetation. In Egyptian or Kemetic beliefs, it was seen through Wasar, or Osiris. When he is killed by his brother Set out of jealousy, he is dismembered, ultimately brought back together as a mummy, in some stories, by his wife Aset or Isis. And he resurrects and then becomes the lord of the underworld himself, spurring vegetation throughout. We also know the Greek story of Demeter, who is the mother of Persephone, and when she gets abducted and taken to the underworld, she stops producing vegetation as well. So again, the same type of control we would see in other type of characters. Other deities possess this, including all the children of Demeter, who we'll talk about in a bit, but they show profound ability to influence the growth patterns of plants, particularly in viney or wine type plants. In the DC universe, they show the same type of ability represented in poison ivy and the swamp thing, both of whom tap into the green, which is a primal force of the universe. In Marvel Comics, there is Carapace, who virtually does the same thing through mutant abilities, and a very obvious Swamp Thing ripoff of Man Thing, who is a biochemist who develops this serum and ends up falling into a swamp, but develops this bond. But we've always talked about beings who can influence vegetation in this way. There is Gaia, who is the mother goddess. Then, of course, there is Circe of Roman mythology, Persephone, who is the daughter of Demeter. Aphrodite is said to have the ability to influence plants, as well as Zeus, Artemis, and Dionysus. Kronos, who was again the titan of harvest, also has that ability, but supposedly Athena in a limited scale, Pomona, Geb, who is the earth spirit, but also Sif and Frey of Norse mythology. There are a host of characters that control this ability throughout many of the various fictional mythologies, but it's always a key and very important power. The ability to control plants oftentimes is the ability to control life.